everyone, welcome back for another video. Today I wanted to share with you how I do tracking in my daughter's Hobonichi. Now I've already shared that I have two daughters and I keep a Hobonichi weeks for each of them for school, for memory keeping. And this one belongs to my first grader who's got a lot more things going on throughout the days and the weeks, and so I like to do memory keeping, and I also like to do tracking. Now there's different things I track on here, and it's very helpful for me because I like to keep track of the things that she's learning. I've been keeping a Hobonichi week since she was in pre-K, and I did tracking in that one as well. And when she was in kindergarten, I did tracking for her sight words. She learned Spanish and English sight words, and so I would track those, the books that she read, and I like that concept. I like that idea of the tracking for memory keeping as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk with you through how I track in this Hobonichi weeks. This is for my first grader, and you've probably already seen me do plan with me and decorating, and you know how I set up my weeks, my layouts. But I'm going to walk through my tracking. So basically there are just a couple things I like to track. I think there's four things I like to track. In the back of the Hobonichi weeks there is a note section, and the notes section has blank pages that I like to use for tracking. So I've decorated the front of the notes pages. This is an index. I don't really care for it. I don't use it. For me, it's easier to just have the tabs on the outside that I can flip to the little sections when I want to do tracking. So my daughter is currently a reader. She's been a reader since kindergarten, and so one of the things I like to track is her reading. Now she does have English and Spanish. She's in a program where she's learning Spanish, and you know, she obviously doesn't need to learn English, but she's learning Spanish, and so she has to read Spanish and English. She learns a lot of things, Spanish and English. Everything that she learns in English, she will learn in Spanish as well. So that is just to, you know, to get her to get better at speaking the language, writing it, and reading it. She's not just learning how to speak it, she's learning how to write it, how to read it, and how to speak it. So I like to track her reading. And in this section, I have used these cute little tabs I found at Michael's because I had ordered the planner press, bow tabs, and they took forever to arrive, and so kind of got desperate, and one of those days I went to Michael's, I found these tabs. They're really cute, and so I will show you how I do that. So the first thing that I track is her reading. Now here on this side of the page I have a printable from the Hobonichi website. It's the 365 printable, and I thought this was a great idea for tracking how many books she reads or she's read, or you know, obviously when she gets to the end. And so I printed it. I've attached it to my Hobonichi weeks with a little bit of washi, and basically this used to be in the Hobonichi weeks that I had for last year because you know, she's been in first grade since September, and so this is a January start Hobonichi weeks, and so this came from the old Hobonichi weeks. So I've attached it here with washi. And basically, I covered the Japanese lettering here because I don't understand it, I don't speak it, I don't read it, and so I don't really know what that's for. But I figured this was perfect for me to use for tracking the number of books that my daughter reads. And so what I've done is I've covered the Japanese lettering. I left the 365 because I think she will definitely get close to that reading. If not, she will surpass that, the 365. And so I've written up here how many books I've read, and then the grade, first grade. So far, she's read 156 books, and that is because some of the Spanish books I haven't logged in here, but she's read more than that. So every time she reads a book, I log it, and then I fill in a bubble. So that tells me, in short view, what she's read so far, how many books she's read so far. And then on this side of the page, you know, with a couple of pages in here, I decorate it really cute with, you know, books and reading themed washi tape. And basically what I've done here, I just wrote first grade reading log and a little quote that says books are better than anything, which is so true. And so basically what I do is I write the date, the name of the book, where the book came from, if it came from the reading program that my daughter is currently using, or if it's a regular book, then I write it here. I write the number of pages, and then if she reads more than one book for that day, I write it here. This number helps me with my bubbles, because if I had to count every single time I came here and I 1, 2, 3, 4 and fill in 4 bubbles, it's just so much easier if I just wrote 4 or 4, you know, or 2 or 1 or 3, whatever number of books that she's read for that day. Now, if you notice, some of them have the highlighter and some of them don't. So the ones that are highlighted are the ones that are in Spanish, and that tells me it's for my own, you know, tracking, color coding type of thing, where I know that the ones in gray are the Spanish books, and the ones without gray highlighter are the English books, because like I said, she's in a program where she's doing both languages at the same time. And so I think this is actually a wonderful idea. This 365 is perfect because I fill in the bubbles every time she reads a book, and basically that's how we do. I decorate it with books or whatever, and then you know, stickers here and there, little sayings, and then same thing, same concept. Like here for December 4th, she read only 1 book, and so I wrote the name of the book, the number of pages. It was a reader, step 2, and then she only read 1 book for that day. And then I circle it, and that's how I know to just fill in 1 bubble here. And then pretty much the same thing, same concept, and then here we're up to February here. Okay, now the next thing I like to track, I did leave some extra pages blank because I know that we're definitely going to be reading a lot. My daughter absolutely loves to read, and so these blank pages are for that. The next thing is a habit tracker type of thing, but for her it's mostly for you know, like the medications that we use, because they do suffer from allergies, so I have to give them allergy medicine. So here what I created was a horizontal tracker where I just watercolored, you know, pretty colors here, wrote the names of the months, and then the days in every little square, and then whatever I want to track. So in this case, I want to track the multivitamin, I want to track the allergy medicine, and then her preventative for her cough, because she does suffer from cough, and then if I give her any other medication, I put it on here. So that is for the month of December, and I do the color coding as well so that I can tell what is what. So for vitamins I use blue, for allergy I use purple, and for her preventative for her cough I use gray. And I love the way this looks, you know, the little pixels, and it's really cute. Now only 4 months fit in the horizontal layout because you have to allot for however many things you want to track. In this case, I don't want to track a lot. I just want to track her vitamin, her, you know, and her medication, and that's it. I don't have to track anything else. And so I have left the rest of the pages blank. Probably anytime now I will get to doing the rest of the other 4 months that are coming up, and then this will go all the way to November, because then by the time December comes, it'll be time to switch into a new Hobonichi weeks, and so it'll go right into the new Hobonichi weeks. The next thing I like to track in here is her spelling. She recently began to learn how to spell, and she gets a set of words every week that she needs to learn how to spell, how to write, and she also gets tested. And so I just put in here with some stickers, alpha stickers, the spelling words, some really cute stickers, some glasses, and an A+, an apple with an A+, and then my tab with the word spelling on it. And then when you flip to it, you have the words, the set of words that she gets every week. So this was theme 3, week 1, and then the week of, and then I write the date on here. I write every spelling word. She also gets 5 challenge words every set. And so the same thing here, theme 3, week 2, the week of January the 14th. And then this, what you see here, is her grade. Once she is tested, she comes back, she brings back in her folder her test that's graded, and then I put it in here. I just do a little bit with the purple mild liner, and just that kind of stands out on the page, because I feel like, you know what, she's doing great. It's something to celebrate for her, and I like that. And so I write score / grade, and then the grade that she got for that week. And she's been doing great, as you guys will see. You know, theme 3, week 3, and then so on and so forth. So as you can see, she's been after theme 3 week, so around the 4th week, she started getting besides the 10 spelling words and the 5 challenge words, she started doing dictation sentences as well. So they want to make sure that the kids are learning how to write these sentences with the correct spelling, the correct use of punctuation, the correct use of, you know, capital letters and lowercase letters. And so after the 4th week, they've also included 2 dictation sentences, and then that's why the score goes up, because now they're adding the dictation sentences onto that score. And so as you can see, my little one, she's very dedicated. She is 100% always wants to be on top, and that's wonderful. You know, and she does great. And so that's what we're doing. Now, this week, she already got her score, so I have to go ahead and fill in that, highlight that section there. And I'm going to do that with you guys so that you guys can see what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, eyeball it. Nothing crazy. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I do that because a lot of times when you lift up the mildliner from the paper, you get like a big blob of ink on it, and I don't like the way that looks, so I like to change that. So here's her test. Her test is right here. As you can see, she got every word right, and then in this case, they did not give them, they did give them challenge words, so I guess the score stayed the same. 10. I guess the sentences didn't count this time, but and here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and write that score in there. So I'm just going to write, you know what, I use my black Energel to write score, and hopefully I am in frame so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to do score / grade. Okay, and with the blue Energel, I like to use these in the 0.3. This one says 0.5, but the actual refill, it's a 0.3, and I like it because it's the needle tip, and I love how it writes really small and it dries very, very quickly. So I'm going to go and just put in her score here. And I should probably ask her teacher why she got a 115 instead of a 117, because she did get her sentences right. So I'll put it in there like that. And then that is how I do the tracking. So I track the reading, a habit tracker, and her spelling. And then back here, I want to start a tracker for iRead. She does a program at school. It's called iRead, and they have different levels, reading, math, you know, everything. And so I want to track that. So it's an intention of mine to do that. And then back here, I like to track her lunch money balance. Now she's in first grade, so now she is allowed to bring lunch money. And the way it works in her school is you send it in an envelope with her name, and then that envelope goes to the main office in the mailbox for the lunch ladies. And then the lunch ladies pick it up every morning, and then they add whatever money you send to every kid's balance. I guess they each have their own account, and it goes in their balance. So basically how I do that here is I send in the money. I write the date. If I am sending any money, I write the date. I write the amount I am sending in for her, and then the balance. If she had anything left over from another time before I started this tracker, I think I was sending money without tracking it, and then I decided that it was a good idea for me to track, because then how I know if she needs, you know, more money sent in. And then I write the date. If she uses it, she says, Mom, I bought something at lunch, you know, a little knick-knack or a little snack or something. I log into the account and I can see how much money she used out of her balance, and I can just update my balance on here. And then you guys can see how I add the balance, and then when she uses it, I take away. And I haven't sent money since the first week of January, but you know, she doesn't really care for it. I do it because if sometimes she tells me, Mom, I wanted to buy chips, and you know, I didn't have any money, so I send it in. If she uses it, good, and if she doesn't use it, it's okay. It's only a couple dollars. You know, I never send in more than $2 unless, you know, she's gonna buy every single day at lunchtime. But usually it's $1, $2, and I try to, you know, shy away from sending in way too much money. So she still has $1.50 balance, and I just, you know, drew a box and then separated the lines. I added these stickers from the Happy Planner book, and I just wrote school lunch money balance and payments, because that's what I want to track on here. And then with a really cute money washi, I decorated the bottom of the page, and a calculator sticker from the Happy Planner as well. Then these are the Japanese pages that I really don't have any use for. I don't read Japanese, I don't understand it, and so for me, these pages are basically useless. So what I do is, if I do use washi, and sometimes when you use washi, you end up, you know, just cutting off extra, and then you have all these leftover pieces of washi. I figured this would be a good idea for me to just cover all the Japanese wording with the washi, and then see what it would look like in the end. And I think it's turning out pretty cute. I like it. So that is how I do tracking in my daughter's Hobonichi weeks for her school for memory keeping. So the front of the book is memory keeping, and you know, tracking doctor's appointments and school events, and you know, her dancing. And then for the weekly, I do the same thing. I track for the week whatever's going on for each day, and then on the right side I usually do memory keeping. So if she's got an event, or if something happens, she brings home a sticker, I like to highlight that on here with the memory keeping, and just a little bit, you know, snippets of the day or the week, you know, for her, how it went, you know, what she did, what she didn't do, or you know, whatever it is that you want to add for memory keeping. And so that's how I use that. So I hope that you liked this video. It was meant to be a really short one, just to share with you guys how I do tracking in her Hobonichi weeks. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I will respond as soon as I am able to do that. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and until the next time, have a good one, guys. Bye.